Oh man, so we need to talk about Solana because Solana is tumbling after having its second outage in a month. What is going on? This is one of the biggest market cap layer 1 solutions we have out there. For transparency, I'm invested, but that is not going to hold me back from giving you guys my honest opinion of what I think is going on and the reality behind these events, right? Because this is becoming unacceptable now for such a big project to be having such outages. So make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to get straight into this, guys, because you know, this has left me with a bit of a bitter taste because, let's face it, we've been giving them chance after chance to sort their stuff out, and they've not managed to do it. I mean, let me give you the history of how many times this has been down, okay? So in January, they had disruptions and degraded performance for 9 days. 9 days, guys. That is a lot. 9 days out of the whole month, they were down. They then had duplicated transactions, which they blamed for the second outage in January. In late April and early May, they had 8 hours of downtime because they said NFT minting bots overwhelmed the network. To add to that, then they've got this downtime now, of course. To add to that, the Solana clock is 30 minutes behind the real world time because it takes longer to close the blocks, okay? This is insane, okay? And as you can see, this was supposed to be the Ethereum killer. And now we go over to the price, and we see it's not really fallen that much. We're down 0.82 today. Yes, we fell a little bit from 47th to about 38, but this is not a crazy fall, right? To the downside here on Solana. They've pretty much been able to absorb it. And so the question is, why does this keep happening? And more importantly, what does this mean for us? And what should we stand for this? So if we head on over to the Solana status page, you can see they posted 14 hours ago, mainnet beta validators, please restart instructions linked below, please restart, right? So apparently what happened was the Solana network was not producing new blocks for 5 hours, and so they had to restart. It wasn't coming to consensus. And so you could see their communications. Apparently, they managed to successfully complete the cluster restart of mainnet, 4.5 hours of outage. That's roughly what they've said, okay? So again, let's put this into context. Other networks have not been down like this. Bitcoin has not been down like this. We talk about Phantom on this channel, which is significantly lower market cap, has not been down like this. Let's go back onto CoinMarketCap. Because again, we need to remind ourselves of what we're working with here. And what we're working with here is a project, Solana, which is sitting at 13 billion. This has been much higher, obviously, in the bull run, but is now slipping out of the top 10 because people do not have the capacity for this right now. After seeing Terra Luna fall out of the top 10 within days, people are now understanding that all of these coins are fallible. Right? They're all fallible. And this is something I continually communicate with all of you guys, is I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I will talk about other projects, but I'm very focused on ensuring my Bitcoin position remains large, as is my Ethereum's, and then I split the rest into smaller and smaller chunks. Anything which is a small market cap has a really small part of my portfolio, and even these altcoins, you have to remember, they are just VC. They're like VC projects, right? You invest in a bunch of them. Some of them will succeed and some of them will not make it. And guys, I made a separate video on that. Is many of these top 10 coins will not make it to the next bull run. It's just how it is. Or if they make it to the next one, they won't make it to the one after that. They're not going to be here forever. And sometimes we get caught up thinking they will be. And again, I'm not, slamming on Solana too much because, like I said, I hold it. I haven't sold any, and I continue to hold it. But the reality is, they can't be down like this. And this is what happens when you're trying to solve the layer 1 solution. And before I come on to that, I want to talk about this, which is the blockchain trilema. You guys have probably heard about this a good number of times, and this is the balance that a layer 1 blockchain has to meet. They need to balance security with speed and decentralization, okay? Now, we know Bitcoin is the most secure and the most decentralized of technologies. So therefore, what do they give up? They give up speed. And they get a lot of complaints about not being fast enough, but Bitcoin knows its position, it knows its asset, and they focus on the other two, okay? So, so we know that Solana has tried to go for some speed, but now they're messing up their security, right? They were advertising that, look how fast we are, we got fast transactions per second, and we're still decentralized, and they're giving up some of these angles here, particularly in security, we're noticing now in terms of their downtime and their consensus mechanism. So this is the blockchain trilema, and this is why it is a trilema, because it's not that easy to solve. Now, the point I really want to make in this video and emphasize, and I tweeted to this effect as well, is what would happen? Just amuse me. What would happen if this same downtime, in fact, not the 5 or 6 downtimes I've just listed here for Solana this year. What if just this one from yesterday happened with a project like Phantom? What would the uproar be? What would the price be? Would it go to zero? Would it tank it significantly? How much fright would there be? Let me make it a little bit more interesting for you. What if this happened with something like Cardano, ADA? Can you imagine the stick Charles Hodgkinson would get? And this is where you start to see that not all projects are created equally. Not all of them have the same backing. Not all of them have the same opportunity to make the same mistakes without getting a lashing from the market. And then you come to understand. You come to understand why. Why is this the case? And you start looking at who the backers are. Who are the backers of Solana? And we've known this. We've spoken about this for a long time. And do these projects, just like traditional finance, you have certain banks who get away with everything, right? And we know why. We know why, because they're too big to fail. And we start looking at their backers: Cosmos Capital, Blockwell Management, Distributed Global, Kevin Rose, who we know is a big individual, Multicoin Capital, Coinlist, Mexi Exchange, Polychain Capital, CoinShares. We know Jump Capital, Alameda Research, right? OKX are involved as well. You've got a lot of big funds involved, a lot of big exchanges involved in their success, in Solana being successful. We've known that. A lot of billionaires have a lot of interest in Solana, and that is the double-edged sword, right? And that's part of the issue. And that's why we're seeing that they can get away with certain things. And I'm being open. Remember, I hold Solana. I'm being open. They can get away with things which definitely something like ADA, if they had that downtime, you would be hearing it from the naysayers and the haters. And this is why whenever I build out my portfolio, I do it in a balanced way, because I've said this for a long time. Anytime I talk about ADA, the reason, my rationale for why I hold ADA is, what if the whole move fast and break things method doesn't work? And you can go back, watch my videos, watch it from a year ago now. We've got that data, we've got that historical data there, because I want you guys to see transparently what I think in real time. That's why I make these videos. And you can see that when I invest in ADA, I'm making a bet on patience, pragmatism, peer review, research, academics, going slowly in a world where everything is so much faster. Solana came out of nowhere in 2021 and started ripping up towards Ethereum, right? Where did they come from? And you know where they came from, because VC backing, move fast, break things, get it up and running. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have successful companies which move fast and break things. It happens. Look at the normal stock market world. A company like Facebook just disrupted. That was their model. And then you had a slower, more methodical company like Amazon. Bit more slower, no profit, keep building. And over decades, you then saw their success. And you can have both of those in your portfolio. And that's what I do. I will have some Solana, but I will also have some ADA, because ADA gives me that peace of mind that they're doing stuff slowly and methodically. And then credit to a project like Phantom. I mean, you imagine a project like Phantom. If they made one mistake like that, that could be the end for them, right? Which is why, again, as a small market cap project, until they graduate, you cannot, as far as I'm concerned, hold too much of a project like Phantom in your portfolio. It needs to be a small bit of your portfolio until it graduates to a larger market cap where they've got more backing, they've got more interest, in where you can hold a little bit more because you know there's other people backing it as well. So those are my musings on Solana. I think it's just a little bit unfair, right? But we know that's how the world kind of operates around these things. We know that if you got these kind of backers on your books, right, it's going to help you when you have periods of downtime. And again, that just sat with me. As soon as it happened, I just went, first I said, oh man, Solana, what are you doing? And then I thought, hang on a second, if other projects had this amount of downtime, they would not still be hanging in there in the top 10. They will be getting decimated, if not heading really fast towards zero. So Solana needs to sort something out. They need to do something, because there are clearly creaks in the system. They need to address it. There's no smoke without fire. You don't have this many outages without something fundamentally happening. And what is their solution? What are they going to come up with? How are they going to pivot? What upgrades are they going to do to make this better and go away? So there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on Solana. As you can see on the charts, they're now sitting at 39 from all-time highs of about 250, 260 odd, right, at the peak in towards the end of 2021, when Bitcoin was running up towards 70,000. So the reality is, like, what do we do here on this type of chart? Do we buy the dip? Now remember, a lot of the times I would tell you guys to buy the dip, but when I tell you to buy the dip, it's when there is FUD. This is not FUD. You see the difference, guys? A lot of people will sometimes, when I make videos about Phantom or any other project, will say, okay, so when would you sell? This, I'm not selling right now, but this is the type of stuff that would make you question the fundamental conviction of a project. My conviction today and after these various outages on Solana is not the same as it was before, right? They've got this tarnish on their reputation. And so these are the warning flags. These are the red flags that a project can have. Now, can they unwind it and can they improve? Yes, but they need to come out clearly, systematically and say, this is what kept happening. These are the things we want to resolve. This is how we've become better. And this is how we're not going to have outages. And even then, they've still got that tarnish on their reputation that they've had these periods of outages. So there you go, guys. If you want to trade these, as always, guys, do consider checking out Bybit. You can sign up to Bybit using the link below. Do get yourself set up. They have a sign-up bonus there as well for you guys. One of the best exchanges. The reason I like Bybit is obviously they've got TradingView integrated as well, which is my favorite charts, which I always use in all my videos. So the fact that I can do all my charting in here and get my trade done at the same place really does help. So do consider checking out Bybit, who've been kind enough to support this channel. So if you use my affiliate link in the description, that will support the channel to help me bring you another 100 videos every single day on every single topic. Hope you guys like this video. Smash on the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my video on optimism. If you've not watched that, I'm going to link that up so you can go watch that, and also watch the video explaining what happened yesterday and what crashed the market and why are we now below $30,000 again on Bitcoin. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.